friends, it's Nico. This is a video I haven't made for a long time. 2 years? 3 years? Something like that. Healthier food choices? Healthier thinking and doing things? Honestly, since moving to Summerfield 3 years ago and all the crap that happened, and hey baby, moving up here last year, this is our second year up here now in New England, I haven't really been on the healthier eating train at all, which is a bit disappointing in myself. I mean, honestly it was, but when we first moved to Summerfield, we had a very small cube refrigerator, like a small college dorm one. I don't know. I don't even know how big it was, but it was a cube, essentially. That's what we were dealing with. Hi. But I wasn't eating terribly up there. We had dried food, I had veggie pasta, and I had fresh eggs from the hens that were at the farm, and I ate a lot of eggs. But I was also doing coffee with the agave. I mean, I kept it up for a while. But as conditions on the farm started to deteriorate, it just got worse. We did get a full-size fridge, which is great. We ended up leaving it there because it was like old. We should have brought it with us, but whatever. At the time, it was just too much of a hassle. But we did get a full-size fridge. We were able to actually have fruits and veggies and stuff in the fridge, and so because I didn't want to leave them out in the house, because there were a lot of huntsman spiders all over the place. The cats are very good at taking care of a lot of them, but there are a lot, because it really was literally farmland. And I guess I wasn't technically eating too badly. I did kind of, as stress came back, lean towards the more processed food. Yep. And as the stress became very bad, I actually went back to drinking Coke. And sometimes it was multiple Cokes a day just to get through the day with any tiny piece of sanity. And in October, 2 years ago, November is when we left, but we arrived in New England October 1st, this is in 2020. Finding the foods that I had been eating and keeping the routine I had been keeping really just fell to the wayside. Mom Carter, my mother-in-law, was very ill and recovering, and Dad Carter ended up getting ill this past year. It was really bad, and I definitely went full on at least a can of Coke a day. Seriously, I did. And I actually, now I have to make sure there's only one Coke in the fridge, otherwise I am very tempted and most likely will get it out of the fridge and drink 2. So I try to only keep one Coke in the refrigerator that we have right now, which is a small one, but it's bigger than the one we started off with in Summerfield. But like, the food that I was used to eating, the healthier food, like the veggie pasta, all of the fresh fruits, the healthier food choices that I did became harder in its own way. Like when Mom Carter was still very sickly, Kevin and I made sure to clean out the in-laws, because we're living with our in-laws right now. And we will be for the foreseeable future. But that's not bad. That's like mainly to help them, but it's also helping us also save money. But we made sure to clean out the fridge and to clean out food that has been just sitting there, literally some of the food sitting there for decades, and we made sure to have them have a fresh start of things, and some of it, they got upset with some of it, but I'm just like, no. And Kevin and I were very honest. We pointed out, hey, there's you got food growing things in here, and this can expired 20 years ago. You're not going to eat that, or you're going to have botulism. But we actually had a small section in the full-size refrigerator for us to have our food, or at least things more specific. And we were eating breakfast, which is whatever, normal breakfast, bowl of cereal, yogurt. Kevin and I would do something for lunch. Sometimes it was a sandwich. Sometimes it was just snacks, not necessarily healthiest, chips and stuff. But we would always sit down for dinner last year. It's not happening anymore, but we would sit down for dinner last year and have a protein, a veggie, and a starch. And it wasn't terrible. Especially when Kevin and I were cooking the food, the meals, it was actually pretty good. Mom Carter got better, and she started wanting to cook again. And Kevin, so it's not just me, but I feel like a big biatch for it, but I don't care for her cooking. I don't. I don't like it, and the way that she cooks is there is like a ton of butter in everything. Doesn't matter if it's made with butter, there's also butter put on top and added in and then put on to the plate after. It's too much. It was stuff that Kevin and I, we were just like, no, we're drawing the line in the sand. We are not eating this. We're going to eat with you and have our own food. And then Kevin got a nighttime job, so we eat breakfast after they have dinner because we wake up after their dinner time. Because they eat early. They eat at like 5 p.m. Last year was like complete opposite times being awake than we have had in almost 20 years. This year, we are night shifts again. So we eat breakfast. I sometimes have a bowl of cereal and regular milk. I have been doing yogurt, which is good. Yay, right? Let me get one out. Because I have one. Lately, it's mostly I've done the wee yogurt. I really love that. Hi. Ryan's still in my lap, but I've been doing Chobani, the Greek yogurt. And I have done some of the ones where the flips and there's like crumbles and stuff to add in. But lately, as in like the last 3 months, I've just been doing these ones, usually with fruit on the bottom. And it has probiotics, and I guess it has protein. I'm just reading the side. There's no GMO ingredients. Hi. But I've usually been doing this in the morning. Usually. Sometimes I have a bowl of cereal. But mostly it's just yogurt, so that is healthier eating. I have been terribly naughty, and my go-to lunch is ramen. I make the ramen with the flavor packet, and then I pull the noodles out separate, and I put 2 handfuls of cheese on it, and I know that's not healthy. I know it's a lot of sodium, but this is what I've been craving. So I have been eating it very often. Very, very often. Sometimes I make pasta. It's either ramen or pasta. It's usually, I guess, a starch. Is that what this is? Is that what pasta is? A starch? Yeah. So I've either been doing ramen or pasta. Normally for lunch. With the pasta, it is just, and you're interested in that. With the pasta, it's just either like shells. I can't find veggie pasta up here for a price I'm willing to pay. And I found whole wheat pasta. I don't care for that, but I want to find the veggie pasta. I might have to order it online. Might have to look again. It's not what you think it is. But I have been doing a starch for my lunch. I have been doing 1 Coke a day, normally, sometimes 2. I really have taken a stance on that, though. I try very, very, very hard to just have 1 Coke a day. instead of the two. And I try to make sure, like I mentioned before, to keep a single Coke in the fridge for me during the weekdays. When Kevin has 2 days off a week in a row, I stock up the fridge with Coke, so we each have like a couple in there for his 2 days off, and I still try to do one Coke. That means if we go to McDonald's to get something, I have the Coke there, and I try not to have another. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't. We also have been eating more junk food, and both of us are really bothered by that. But at the same time, it is 4, 5, 6 a.m. Everybody is sound asleep, and we don't want to cook a meal, which is terrible. So we have chips and gummies and chocolate and peanuts. Peanuts are good. I have been doing peanuts, but it's and it's just I like the gummies. I love gummies, but I can't do very many of them, which I think is kind of a good thing. Also with the chips that I have lately, I have the Doritos regular plain nacho flavor. I've only been eating like 5 of those and putting them away. So I mean that's kind of good, but I have been eating an apple a day. I have been getting Red Delicious apples and eating at least 1, sometimes 2 a day, as like my mid after lunch snack. And for dinner, we don't normally make dinner, which is annoying to both of us, but we don't normally. Right now in the fridge, I have chicken, and we can make breaded chicken and rice tonight, hopefully. Hopefully the chicken is still good. We've been ill for a couple of days. I pulled my back out, and Kevin has had the flu or something, but it's not COVID. He got tested, but still. Hopefully the chicken's still good. We'll make breaded chicken with it tonight with rice. It'll be a nice dinner, and it won't be junk food. Kevin is he has toned up quite a bit. I know it's from his job. He's also drinking a lot of apple juice. I'm drinking this right now because I have had terrible indigestion for 2 days. And I didn't want to drink soda right off the bat. So, there's that. God, I know this is just going to be a long talky video, but whatever. Kevin is toned up quite a bit. He has a very physical job at Home Depot. He does inventory loading and stuff and stocking, and he toned. he's very toned, and it's very beautiful to look at. I, on the other hand, I felt like last year I was doing okay, especially because we were going up and downstairs so much, and that was so much more. This year my feet seem to be more delicate. I want to say that's how I'm thinking of it. They hurt, of course, but my ankles, I'm pretty sure it's from going down the stairs and climbing up the stairs, but my ankles and my knees are very sore, and it puts a lot of strain and pain on my feet. So I haven't been going up and down as much, whereas I would take the stairs like 4 times a day, maybe 5. This year I literally go downstairs to start the day, and I go upstairs to end the day, and I try not to go upstairs and downstairs in between it all. And I know the in-laws have a stair lift, but I don't use that because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So yeah, it's annoying. I know my weight. I know it's just a number, but also I have been dealing with, not lately, not the last few months, but Mom Carter seems very fixed on her weight numbers because she was very, very ill. She lost a lot of weight, and she's thrilled that she lost all that weight, and she kept quoting numbers to me, and from somebody with an eating disorder that I have never disclosed to them. I mean, Kevin knows, but I have never disclosed it, so I'm not going to blame her. She's not being mean or anything. It's just hearing her harp on and on about numbers and numbers and numbers. And there's a scale in the bathroom, and I've been on that scale a couple of times, and I hate that scale so fudging much, so much. I started getting very bad eating thoughts again. I used to starve myself in high school. I got very sick. I almost died from it. And I was having those thoughts again of, oh, how little can I eat? How little can I eat and still function? And I had to talk with Kevin about it, because I mean, I couldn't do it. And he's always been very supportive, and he was very supportive. But he's just like, tell me what you need and we will do it. We'll get whatever you need. Don't starve yourself. And honestly, the main reason I'm not cutting back on my food intake is because I can't let anything happen to myself, because I don't want anything to happen to Kevin. And I know we are very close, and if I were to die from my eating disorder, if I was to relapse on that and I were to die, I don't think he would last very long, and vice versa, honestly. So I don't want to do that to him, and out of love, it's a hard battle in my brain to fight, especially when the depression takes a hold. Especially if I stand on that sorry about the language, on that stupid scale. I hate that scale. I am now about 180 pounds, which is 30 pounds more than I would like to be. Realistically, I have not physically been doing any exercises and working out. I think, especially this year, taking more control of my diet, even though I am doing like the pasta and starch at lunchtime, but taking more control of my breakfast and my dinner, and trying to make sure my snacks are slightly in the healthier range, like the peanuts, like roasted peanuts and stuff. I think that's better. I will be getting like banana chips and some freeze-dried fruits again to snack on. But my healthier eating choices haven't been great. But as I've talked with you, it's not terrible. Like, it could be so much worse. It could be. But it's not. So, I'm not as upset at myself as I thought I would be. I really thought, like, as I went into talking about this, it was going to be awful. But honestly, it's not. I have been drinking tea, not every day, but I do have quite a tea collection now. And yes, I use sugar with my tea. That is just a thing I'm going to probably always do. To sweeten it. But I've been drinking tea more often. I have cut back on the coffee. I do have my own coffee maker, which is now a glorified box holder. So I haven't figured out where to plug it in yet, but I have my own coffee maker. I have my own tea kettle. I do tea reviews. I've been posting them as I taste the teas. I've stopped doing my coffee and the agave, although I had to put my one thing of agave up above Dad Carter's head. He's very short like I am. But he found, like, I bought 2 of them, and I'm just like, hey, you might want to try this. And he really liked it, and he pretty much used the entire bottle. I'm like, my bottle. It's been weird. We're keeping our food separate now. Now that Mom Carter is better, and she is pretty much regained control of everything, our food in the fridge kind of got phased out and thrown away several times. So we have, like I mentioned, a small fridge. It's in my office next to me. My foot is literally touching it. I have a 3-drawer Sterilite cart without the wheels on it, and that is where a lot of our dried goods are. And then I have a little section like down here where our drinks are. It's usually where the Coke is, and Kevin's and mine, Gatorade. Kevin definitely does a lot of Gatorade at work to stay hydrated. And I usually have 1 or 2 Gatorades a week. Like, I will open a Gatorade this size, and it lasts me 3 or 4 days. I'm definitely not downing it. And now that it is hot outside for the last week and a half, I have been making sure to at least, I didn't do it yesterday, but at least have 1 cup of water with ice, if not more. So I'm not as mad at myself in this better food choices than I really thought. I thought I would be way more upset, but I'm not. I'm actually prouder of myself than I expected. Yay, go Nico. So, I mean, there are things I would like to change. If I had veggie pasta, I would not be doing regular pasta. I would probably still be doing the ramen. I love ramen. I do, and I know it's unhealthy. I know the salt packet, the flavor packet, that's where like almost all the sodium is, but you gotta have something you like. And right now that's, especially because I'm craving it. Speaking of cravings, I've definitely been craving peppermint. Not like I'm gonna die if I don't have it, but definitely craving peppermints again. So that thing is coming more around, and the cravings are getting more intense, and I will be talking to my doctor about that. But I think that's essentially my healthier food choices update. Not so healthy, but not as bad as I expected. There's something. I know you can tell there's a difference in my face. I'm also videoing this from a downward angle. You can definitely see my beautiful double chin that I never used to have when I was younger. But you know what? I know it's part of aging and my weight, but I'm okay with that. Usually if I were videoing, it would be here or an upward angle, because that looks not terrible. So we're doing this. We're down and dirty. Alright, Elflings. I had a request for healthier food choices, and you got a 22 minute ramble of what I'm eating and not eating. I do intend to make healthier food choices in the future as I find more things that I am willing to eat. I've learned this year I am a picky eater, apparently, compared to the Carter household in general. I'm a very picky eater, but certain things I don't think taste good and they're not going in my mouth. So that is what I have. I love you guys so very much. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. And I am going to try to do this once a month. I think so. This is going to count for probably the end of the month. So we're at the end of May. I'll probably try and do this once a month at the end of the month. Alright, Elflings, I love you very much, and I will talk to you later. Bye! Mwah.